Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of College and Career Coffee Chats. We are in season dos right now. To everyone who subscribed, liked, shared, left a comment, left a review for season one, I'm so grateful for you from the bottom of my heart in supporting this endeavor and this journey with podcasting and discussing all things college and career, and really just being a part of it with me, listening to what I have to say about certain things, what my guests like to talk about. And I really hope you enjoyed it. And I'm so excited to start season dos with some café. Always make sure you have your coffee, your tea, your energy drink, your yerba mate, whatever you need to stay fueled. Go get it. Pause and go get it. All right, we're back. So, this first episode of season two is going to be an update chat with you, the listener, and just talk through some things from the last couple of months because the last episode aired in April of 2020 or 2021. JK, we're in 2021, my friends. See, we still got to process 2020. What a year. Anyhow, that was the last time I posted an episode. It was 10 episodes, and we talked about all the things: first generation, journey as a college student, what it means to work in higher education, what it means to show up as an ally and as a true accomplice, not necessarily a performative ally, and how the deep work of inclusion and diversity, equity, and racial justice is a daily practice. Like Maisha T. Hill from Check Your Privilege says, you have to lean into the work. So we lean into the work every single day. And if you're listening and you identify as BIPOC, first gen, or hold a marginalized identity, we have to navigate these institutions every day. And we're constantly navigating systems of oppression, systems of privilege every single day and any given moment. So really my vision for this podcast is for you and I to sit down and talk as if we were in my counseling office, at a university, right? If you don't know me, if this is your first time listening, my name is Delicia Alarcón. My background is in higher education, working with first gen, typically underserved communities by institutional oppression and racism, right? And the work that I did was so much fun at universities, and I would always have my door open when I was at my desk working and not in meetings. And students would just walk by and walk in and sit down on the couch. So this podcast, I hope, serves as a glimpse into what it's like to enter my spaces. If you knew me or worked with me or were my student, you know this is part of the ethos of how I show up with students. There's always like a little candy, a little stress ball, some couches, some fun, so you can have a moment of peace, a moment of safety, a moment of fun and joy. So I hope this podcast, even though it's virtually, I can replicate that safe space for you. I can replicate a moment of joy, a moment of fun, and really tease away the gatekeeping of what it means to go to college or what it means to apply for a job, what it means to be successful in this world. And newsflash, we get to define what that means for each of us. And I hope this podcast serves as a glimpse into something different that is not necessarily always talked about in higher education spaces. So that's really the vision. I want you to feel seen. I want you to feel heard. I want you to feel part of this community. I want you to feel that you belong in these spaces that you want to be in. And I want you to feel like you can show up as your authentic full self in this online virtual podcasting space. This is also going to be a YouTube video if you want to see me, if you want to interact with me, even though it's virtually, leave me some comments. I'm always there to support students and individuals and talk to anyone who want to process these kind of conversations. So like I said, the last episode aired in April. I took a little break, a little hiatus. May, June, I posted some things on social media, and then I realized I really needed a mental break because since March, my friend Mary and I, who run Ameriguayas, if you don't know what that is, I'll link the information in the comments. Go check it out. It's our page that my childhood friend and I share stories about Paraguay, Paraguayan culture, our community. And what is Paraguay? That is where our parents immigrated from. And I identify as Paraguayan American. I was born in the United States. However, my family is from Paraguay, so I hold Paraguayan lineage and ancestry and the complexities of that as well. So go check that out. If you're interested in learning more about Paraguayan American culture from our lens, from our perspective as Amerihuayas. So in March, there were protests in Paraguay happening due to the mishandling of the pandemic through the Paraguayan government. So we decided to support as we could online through grassroots effort, through digital activism. For 3 months, really, we were posting every single day, not getting very much traction because Paraguay is a small country within South America. And the geopolitics of that region generally excludes Paraguay in a lot of the conversation. A lot of Latin American studies programs don't really talk about Paraguayan culture and politics and how the Triple Alliance War actually was a huge situation, war in South America. But that's for Amerihuayas conversation, not necessarily college and career coffee chats. But I bring it up because I think that was the beginning of a lot of digital activism and protests that later on happened in the spring with Palestine, with Cuba, with Colombia, with now present day shooting this in August. So Afghanistan is going through a lot of humanitarian crises. So all this information is linked in my Instagram with how to support any of these causes and also down below. So make sure you check that out if you want to support any of these countries, regions, and support grassroots efforts. So what happens with digital activism online is Instagram, TikTok, any platform starts censoring information. They start silencing direct action protesters and they start silencing people on the grounds. Even though we're in the United States, they were silencing us as well. I noticed that my posts were getting deleted. No one was seeing them. I have maybe 1,500 followers and only 20 people were seeing them. And that's active algorithm oppression that Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, everyone engages in because of this idea that they don't want to create hysteria and chaos. However, it's very problematic because they target LGBTQ plus activists, femmes, and women of color. So it's a huge problem. So that also takes a toll on your mental health and your energy because we, as community organizers, are trying to really support grassroots efforts and amplify voices. And then what happens? They cancel our accounts, they block us from going live, they delete our posts, they delete our Instagram stories. So it becomes really taxing in kind of feeling like you're fighting an uphill battle. So I noticed that was happening on my account, on other people's accounts that I'm in community with. So I decided to take a break from social media and not post as much, even college and career content, as well as social activism content, because if people are not seeing it, it's tough for the message to get out and then also taking a toll on my energy levels. So we took a little break. And also June, July, August, summertime here in the Northeast. I'm in Pennsylvania, so we're able to go to the beach and do something. Some things were open. So I decided to take the end of June, all of July, and the beginning of August off to really recharge and recommit to my mission, my vision, my values, and what it is I want to accomplish with this podcast, with Delilingo Academy, which is the career coaching business that I run, and be in community with everyone and build this community together. So that's kind of the update, life update. I'm going to start posting again, tips and tricks, resources for students. It is the fall, so that means college applications are starting. Grad school applications are going to start being due. So if that's something on your mind, send me a DM. Let me know what you need help with. What are some questions I can answer? If you would like to be a guest on the podcast, send me a message and we can connect. And it's really about sharing your story and where you're at right now. You don't have to have everything figured out right now. And that's hard to know and think about because sometimes we look outward for validation and we see, oh my God, she's going to grad school already. Oh my gosh, she's married already. Or he already has a kid, or they have 3 dogs and a white picket fence. And I'm here living with my parents, or I'm living alone in wherever. And sometimes we get in our heads a lot, myself included, and we don't realize that we need to take a step back and really think about the things that we see. And is like, do I really want some of those things that people have? Or am I feeling pressured by society or family or friends or coworkers or partners, whatever that looks like for you? So in season 2, my goal is to really hone in on how do we make the choices that we make in our career and our lives that really lead into what we actually want and how do we actually define success, and really lean into following our bliss. So this phrase, follow your bliss, I'm sure you've heard it. I'm sure people talk about it all the time. It's something that I've always had in conversations with my parents, with my friends, with my mentors. When I'm at a juncture point in my life, and when I'm in the middle of making a decision about where to go to college, what ice cream to get, what job to apply to, should I apply to grad school, right? Should I move abroad? Should I stay in the United States? All these questions that we think about. And at the root of it is following your bliss for me, which is, I define bliss as your gut feeling or your instinct or that inner knowing of this is what I should do or that is what I should do. And trying to zone out the noise, zone out everything else. Of course, you're going to ask for support and advice from your trusted confidants or your board of directors or board of trustees in your life, that, like one of my friends calls it. Um, you have your board of trustees that you ask about decision making questions, and you can choose who is there and who is not there, right? So in season 2, we're going to unpack, what does that mean? What does follow your bliss mean? And then we're going to have guest speakers talk about different career choices. So we have a friend who is a lawyer, someone who works in higher education, someone who works as a serial entrepreneur, someone who works in corporate America. There are different roles and people that I'm interviewing, and they're going to share their experiences. And hopefully from their experiences, you can think about what you want to do. And hopefully that brings insight into your next step or your next role. Of course, I'm going to also do teachings and trainings as it relates to cover letter, interview prep, personal statements, grad school grant applications, and some tools and some skills that you can use tangibly, right? It's great having coffee chats, right? But sometimes you need the tangible guide or the tangible action verb list or the tangible resume template, right? All of those things I'm going to share with you on this podcast. And any other questions that you have, please let me know in the comments, send me a DM, send me an email, and join the free Facebook group where I pop in for trainings, which will become more regular and consistent now. It's called College and Career Hype Crew on Facebook. I will link it down below. And that's where I really want to foster a community of people hyping each other up and really asking the questions that you don't know where to go to about college, career, resume, cover letter, interview prep, personal statements. And as you navigate your transitions in your career, right? Because you're not going to stay in the same job forever. So really, really show up for yourself, for the community, and hopefully this serves as a safe space for you. And if you need any support, please let me know. I'm so excited for season 2, season dos. Tell your friends, tell your family, share it, leave a review, rate, and subscribe so they can push this up on the charts for the college and career section, and hopefully more first generation BIPOC individuals and anyone who needs this. It reaches them and reaches their ears. So thank you again so much for being here with me. I hope you all had a great summer and you're ready to kick it in the fall and start back to school, right? We're back to school. Some schools already started college are moving next week. Hopefully, things are better throughout the year, and I'm happy to be back. So share. Follow me on Instagram, Delicia Alarcón, TikTok Career Coach on TikTok, YouTube College and Career Coffee Chats, and join the free Facebook page, College and Career Hype Crew. I'll see you in all these spaces. Bye. Beijos. Get your cafecito. Until next time.